Wasters. This is Corinne Conrino, aka Suburban Time Waster, back in the world of Dead by Daylight. And I meant to do a quick match, but I kind of lost track of time. Had some issues today that I'm not going to go into. So instead, I'm just going to... Okay, so here's a picture of Evan MacMillan. Yeah, it was supposed to be a match, but, well, didn't have time for this, so, well, I'm afraid this is really all I can do.
Memory 6079. The sound of Archie's hands pounding against the door feels 100 miles away. Evan ascends the staircase. Each step feels lighter than the last. He just needs a little break. No fake friends. No overbearing boss. No unions. No maggots. No lies. No mine. No killing. He figures if he calls the fire department to let his father out, it would take them a few minutes to get here. By then, he could be long gone. Find a new place to call home. Maybe down the coast, somewhere a little sunnier. As he reaches the top of the stairs, he notices something pooling around his feet. Smoke. He turns around and barrels back down the stairs. The smoke feels like soup as he descends, pitch black and choking. Too thick for smoke. Fog? He can't hear his father screaming anymore. As it chokes out the light, it also seems to choke out sound. Evan calls to his father, but the fog swallows his voice. He lurches forward, arms outstretched. Each step feels like it should be the last, but the staircase keeps descending. Finally, after what feels like a lifetime, his foot hits solid ground. He places his hands on the wall, feeling his way around to the door. But these walls aren't right. Cold, rough, slick to the touch. The fog begins to dissipate, just enough to see his own hands. Blood. He gasps as the room comes into view. The steel door is gone. The gray concrete walls replaced by rickety wooden boards. Streaks of gore reach from floor to ceiling as exposed pipes rattle erratically. His eyes scan for anything familiar where his father might be trapped. As he reaches the center of the room, his gaze freezes. An enormous structure, covered in meat hooks. He is unable to tear his eyes away from it. The structure horrifies him. But something strange and foreign speaks deep within him. These hooks. These are my hooks.
Alright, so Evan killed his dad and has no memory that he killed his dad. Wow, the plot thickens. Let's see, he sees like a slug when he looks in the mirror. He destroys the mirror, and he destroys the mirror with his own hand. The slug is to represent the monster he's become. Again, more of the slug. Yeah, I think that's his dad.
Memory 6080. The feeling in the pit of his stomach is too much for him. He turns and stumbles back up the stairs. The ascent feels endless. Every muscle in his body aches. His lungs burn. But he pushes upward, out of this basement, out of this nightmare. At the top, he finds himself nowhere. No mine, no estate, nothing but unending rocky ground in every direction, and that damned fog again. He picks a direction and starts walking. He remembers being young, hunting with his father, getting separated, lost in the woods. Back then, he walked straight until he hit a road, got his bearings, got back to the car, got an earful from his father. His fists tighten. He supposes he'll get another earful when he finds him, if he finds him. The thought makes his stomach drop. How long has he been walking? He cannot remember. It feels like it's been days. He can barely remember the basement where he left his father, as if he hadn't seen it in years. A smeared, gray memory. But that other basement, it sits heavy, vivid in his mind, as if he never left. He can still count the planks on the wall and those hooks. He could almost hear them calling out to him. He snaps out of his reverie as a sharp, crushing pain shoots up his leg. He collapses, shrieks in pain, looks down. His father's bear trap. He shouts out again, frustrated. Who did this? The same person who brought him here? Who separated him from his father? He pries it open, wrests his ankle from its grip. Blood gushes from the jagged wound. He looks around again, desperate for some sign of humanity. Nothing. I'll die here, he thinks. I just wanted to get away. He drops to his seat, wraps his arm around the trap, and passes out as the fog muffles his pained screams.
I thought he went serial killer before the entity grabbed him. But apparently, the entity grabbed him right after he killed his dad, who was abusive, a jerk, and and well, I'm not gonna be shedding any tears for his dad, but it sounds like the entity always had a hold on him. And again, with those worms. Oh, those are just symbolic of the workers that had to work in the mines. Oh.
Memory 6081. Evan comes to, gasps, grabs at his leg. Dry. He exhales. No wound. It throbs with pain, but the skin is smooth, undamaged. Evan wonders if he imagined the entire thing. His eyes adapt to the darkness and his surroundings come into view. Not imagined. He's back in that basement, with that structure, again. He shouts in frustration, "What do you want from me?" His words bounce hollowly off the ramshackle walls. Nobody is here to answer. He props his hand against the wall, shakily rises to his feet, heads to the staircase again. As he limps towards it, each step becomes harder, not due to the pain, but as if some kind of magnet is pulling him back, as if something is telling him, "You are not meant to leave. Stop resisting." He pushes forward, regardless. He's no sheep, no maggot. Whatever game this place is playing with him, he will not participate. He looks down at the first step, gingerly places his aching foot on it, pushes onward. This time, the pain is in his shoulder. He did not notice the chains hanging from the ceiling, nor the fetid, rusting hooks dangling from them. He does not scream this time. It feels pointless. Nobody is listening. Or if they are, his screams mean nothing. He grabs onto the hook, tries to pry it from his arm, but it's stuck fast. He instead tears it from the chain, takes another shaky step. Another hook tucks into his torso, just under his ribcage. He groans and tears it from its chain. Looks up the stairs. Chains all the way up, dangling at impossible angles, a grim metallic web. He grits his teeth, pushes on. He thinks back to when his father used to lock him in that very room, that feeling of helplessness, of being trapped. He ducks, dodges, moves the hooks aside with his hands, but hooks barb him with every step. And with every step, he tears another from its chain. The stairs have no light at the top of them, no hope. He does not know why he keeps pressing forward, only that he will not be trapped again. He reaches the top of the stairs, bleeding and losing consciousness again. He cannot help but laugh, because of course, that damned basement again.
It always comes back to the basement, apparently. Sorry if I'm not giving much commentary right now, but I'm still feeling a little down. A lot happened today. Not just from the memories, but my mom's friend lost his job. And that's the guy she works the evening shift with. So there's a good chance she's gonna have to work the evening shift alone now. So yeah, it's been a bad day all around.
Memory 6082. He has not left the basement for a long, long time. There's no food, but he does not starve, just feels a vague hollowness. The stairs are pointless. He has slammed the walls, shouted, tried to sleep, but nothing changes. The blood continues to pour down the walls. The pipes continue to rattle, and the structure continues to reach out to him. He decides to focus on it. He's tried everything else. He picks up his bear trap, the one familiar thing in this realm, and ambles over to the structure, places a hand on it, closes his eyes. What he sees is a memory. Not his own memory, someone else's. A moonlit forest, weak, anguished cries in the distance. The point of view shuffles forward towards it. A man lying on the ground in a bear trap. Evan's uncle. "Archie, get me out." He feels his father's voice as if it resonates from his own throat. "Roland, what do you got yourself into?" Roland whimpers, tugs feebly at the trap, cries out again, "Brother, please!" Evan feels the creases of his father's face sharpen as he frowns. Weak, pathetic, wretched, weak, idiot, maggot. His right hand grips the blade of a meat cleaver. "Can't even hunt bear right." Raises the cleaver. Evan gasps as he returns to his own body. It felt so real. The evening frost in his lungs, the dimples of the cleaver's handle, the hate. He looks at the structure again, with new understanding. This place didn't take me from him. It saved me from him. His violence, his control. He gently wraps his fingers around one of the structure's hooks, pulls it, tests its resistance. He acutely feels that hollowness again, a hunger, a longing. He asks again, earnestly this time, "What do you want from me?" As if in response, An animalistic growl erupts from the staircase.
Yikes. So Evan's coming down from Stockholm, with Stockholm Syndrome apparently. It's a sad life when the world the entity traps you is preferable to the real world that you live in. Right, so that's his father's dead body.
Memory 6083. Evan whips around, faces the stairs. A lumbering frame approaches him, slowly. A twisted, makeshift cleaver in its hand. Matted brown fur sticks to its face. Its snout gleams red with blood in the basement light. It gnashes its teeth, snarls, speaks. Maggot! Evan does not cower, as he once might have. His father would always make him feel so small, so alone. But here, Evan is not alone. He calmly sets the bear trap, dares the beast to come at him. It sees the trap, hesitates. Where did you find that? Saw it in the forest, Evan responds. Saw what you did. The beast roars, charges at Evan. Evan shifts his weight, kicks the trap into the beast's path. A sickening crunch bounces off the basement walls, and the beast crumples. Roar! It snarls, growls, snaps its jaw at Evan, drops the cleaver to pry his leg from the trap. Without thought, Evan snatches the cleaver from the ground, feels that rush of blood, just as his father had, raises his arm, pauses. No, not a kill, a sacrifice. He grabs the beast by its shoulders, lifts it, and slams it back onto a hook. It screams out of shock, throws its arms to its back, tries to unhook itself, but its body is too massive, its arms too short. It flails and screams as Evan walks back to the wall, holds the cleaver in his hand, feels its weight. He watches silently as the fight leaves the beast. The hollowness in Evan's chest dissolves, replaced by a new feeling: fulfillment. He basks in this feeling for a long time. Impossible to tell how long. He watches the beast give up, watches its skin dry, peel, explode with maggots, watches the desiccated meat flop to the floor, watches the maggots consume the flesh, leaving behind only bones. He picks up the beast's femur, begins to carve into the bone with his cleaver, whittles a face, a jaw, affixes the beast's teeth, a smile. Something beautiful from something so ugly. Pulls the crude sculpture over his face, a symbol of his devotion to this basement that saved him from his father, saved him from himself. He hears voices again, this time distant, up the stairs. He grabs the trap, his cleaver, ascends the stairs. Nothing stops him this time. He feels weightless as he ascends, as he once had so long ago. At the top, flickering light and crackling embers dance and sing in the distance, a group huddled around its warmth. Evan looks at them from a distance for a long time, thinks of the basement, how it accepted him, molded him, delivered him. Perhaps it will deliver them too.
Alright, so that's it for part 2 of the story of Evan MacMillan, or as the game calls him, the Trapper. Sorry I didn't have much commentary. Didn't have much commentary prepared, I'm afraid. Honestly, I wasn't even planning on doing this. I was just gonna do a Dead by Daylight match, but then, well, I lost track of time, and all I had time to do was this. I noticed it was full, and I took advantage. Anyway, I hope you liked this enough to give it a like, and if you want to see more from me, you can hit the little subscribe button and click the little notification bell to stay up to date. You can also follow me on one of my other social media accounts, which you'll find in the summary. And I got great news, just posted a second chapter of my Go-Go Loser Ranger fanfic, Shattered Dreams. Really hope you check it out, and check it out on Archive of Our Own, and leave a comment saying what you thought about the chapter. So far it's just been a few hits, but no comments. Not even any new kudos. I don't even care that much about kudos. I would like some comments. I mean, I put a lot of hard work into this story. I would really appreciate some feedback. You can also leave a comment saying whether or not you played Dead by Daylight and whether or not you liked my video. And I think that's it.
But they don't do shit.